My name is Sister Rose Patrick O'Connor, or Sister Rose Patrick. I've been a sister for 6 years. The Sisters of Life are Catholic women religious, and we are in love with life, in love with Jesus who is life, and in love with the gift of life that he has given to each human person. And so we just have a mission to see and to really magnify and reflect back the goodness of that life in each person that we encounter. So I had the idea of religious life on my heart from a very young age. When I was little, I used to play dress-ups with my siblings, and I'd be like, when I grow up, I'm going to be Sister Rose, and I would like put a veil on my head with a tea towel, and I'd make my younger siblings be the little orphans that I was saving, and you know, make them into a little hospital and bandage them up, and I had a great time. And then I met the Sisters of Life at World Youth Day in 2008 in Sydney, and I just remember the moment when a sister handed me one of the little brochures, and it had a picture of a sister, and it said, "To lay down one's life that others may live, for love alone." And something in that really resonated with me. And I just knew, wow, this is something that is so beautiful. And this is a beauty that is worth my life. And so, yeah, I wrote to the sisters and said, I want to be a Sister of Life, but they said I had to go to high school first. And so, yeah, I went to high school, went to uni and studied journalism. And then, yeah, when the time was right, the Lord said, okay, come on. And I did. And I'm so happy. Jesus. Yeah, I love that every day I get to just experience beauty. And when I was growing up, I loved music, I loved playing violin, I loved art and just the beauty of nature. And I feel like that has really been magnified in being a Sister of Life. Like my job is a professional receiver of all the good things that God gives, which is a pretty awesome job description. So right now I'm in our mission in Toronto in Canada, and we have a mission for accompanying women who are pregnant in crisis situations, and yeah, really just coming alongside them. And you know, at a time when we experience crisis, or when, you know, it feels like, wow, things are out of our control, that can be a time that's very difficult to believe in our own goodness and in our dignity. And so, yeah, when the women come to us, they're often very afraid, very overwhelmed. There's a lot of pressures, a lot of unexpected things that have happened. And so just to be with them and say like, okay, you know, you're safe, you're loved, you know, you have dignity, you are good. And then, yeah, to watch those simple truths really disarm all the fears and all the lies, and to see them really be able to then move in a place of peace, a place of freedom. And yeah, it's such a gift to really watch them come alive and to see the power of the love of Jesus, that, yeah, it's literally life-changing. I think I gave up everything I had, but I gained so much more. And even I see this exemplified especially in the gift of music. Yeah, some people said, wow, you know, you could be a music teacher, you could play the violin, you could like share so much beauty in the world, and like, why would you give that up to be in a convent? But I've seen the gift of music really deepen in my own heart and in my own life, just through this special consecration of just being close to Jesus, who is, yeah, he is the truth, he is goodness, he is beauty himself. And yeah, I have so much more that I'm sharing in my music now, because I know beauty himself, I know the truth and goodness that the human heart is capable of, and it's such a gift to be able to share that in a new and even more powerful way now. There was one time, there was a woman, I'll call her Casey, and she was, yeah, in a crisis pregnancy situation, and yeah, it was a really rough time for her. Her housing was unstable, her family was not at all supportive, and yeah, she was really in a rough spot. And it was taking a lot for her to have the courage to be able to say yes to this life. And so one day she came over to our convent, and the sisters were just making breakfast for her. I was on her way to an appointment. And so I sat down with her and we were just chatting, and then she was like, oh, you know, I used to play the violin. I was like, really? I play the violin? And so I went and brought my violin, And she was like remembering how it all works, and she put it up and she started playing, and she could only remember a couple of notes, but then she like closed her eyes and she just like played those notes for all she was worth. And she went on for quite a long time, it was a number of minutes. And then when she finished, she like put the violin down and she said, "The name of my baby is Hope." And I said, "Oh." And she said, "When I was playing that music, I could see myself holding my baby's hand, and we were running in the cornfields, and there was all this sunshine, and we were happy and we were free. My baby's name is Hope." And from that moment, she had the courage to choose life, and yeah, gave birth to beautiful little baby Hope. And she's been the most beautiful, amazing mother. And yeah, we've really just seen her come to life in this new stage. Yeah, it's a beautiful gift to be here in Tasmania. I keep telling the sisters, like, this is the most beautiful part of Australia that you'll probably see, which is hard to say for someone who's not from Tasmania, but it's so beautiful. God has been lavish with the little island of Tasmania. And yeah, we're here just to help remind people that you are good. Your life is a gift, you know, and don't let anyone or anything take that away. Yeah, to anyone who's considering or praying with what is the Lord's call, how, you know, I would just encourage you, don't be afraid. The Lord, He has a good plan for you, and He has a plan for your full flourishing, for your full happiness. And just bring yourself before the Lord, and yeah, just simply ask, how have you made my heart to love? How have you made my heart to love? And then let Him tell you. Ooh, I do love St. Patrick. Especially, he shows me the power of one person's yes. You know, he was captured, he was made a slave, brought to Ireland, and it was in that captivity, in that slavery, that he actually found the Lord and learned to pray. And then when he finally escaped, he went back to his homeland. Then he heard the call to go back and to evangelize the very people who had enslaved him. And he said yes, and he went back, and yeah, within his lifetime, the whole island that was in deep darkness was just transformed, and especially through the power of his courage. Like when the Celtic people saw him, they were like, this is a man who is not afraid of anything. He just had that peace, that courage, that he knew that Jesus was with him, and he knew that Jesus had died and risen, and he knew the power of the resurrection. And that allowed him to be fearless and gentle and just be that witness that people were like, wow, whatever he has, I want that. And so just that one yes, he transformed an entire nation.
Thank you, sister. That was lovely.
Yay!